Alright. Hey guys, it's Phantom, and welcome back, or welcome to my channel, or whatever, just welcome back to the podcast, you guys. So this is the third episode of the Ask Phantom podcast, and oh my gosh, guys, do I have stuff to talk about today. So in the last episode, I said that I was going to talk about, um, I guess versus, I guess this is filming software and editing software and just stuff, like what's better to use. So first off, things haven't been going very well today. It's been a rough day, okay? I've been freaking struggling to update my MacBook, and that's where, I mean, I love MacBooks, don't get me wrong, but I love MacBooks, but I don't love them at the same time. I don't love them for specific reasons. So, for any of you people out there wanting to start a channel or whatever, just in general, or get into video editing or whatever. So from my experience, I mean, I know how to use editing software. I don't really know how to use editing software because I could never learn properly. Plus, because of the computer that I use, oh my gosh, it's so freaking annoying. I'm freaking trying to download my games right now onto my computer or whatever, and so so you guys can tell that I'm very, very, very frustrated. I'm not in a good mood today. I'm just frustrated. So basically, I do not recommend MacBooks if you're trying to, people say, it has a good editing software, and it's like, you have to buy the editing software. I mean, yeah, I get it, but I get it. You have to buy editing software, but you okay. So I had a certain software, right? But you had to have an extra software for that. You had to have iMovie, and I just couldn't update my Mac, and it's so annoying. That's kind of why I don't edit videos. I never edit my videos. I know, very unprofessional of me, but I have a specific reason. Now, my computer needs two editing softwares, basically. It needs iMovie, which you have to update your computer to get because, Apple's just, I don't know. I don't like using Macs for that specific reason. And I mean, I've been wanting a PC. I've been wanting a PC for years. I mean, I've had a PC. I've used PCs before, but people are like, "Oh, they get malware and stuff like that." And it's like, yeah, but you have to be careful. If you're careful basically, then you won't get malware on your computer. I cannot tell you guys how many times I've had discussions with people, whether it's my friends or whether it's others, whether it's friends or whether it's other people, saying, no, don't get a PC, it has malware, it can get malware. And it's like, yeah, but be careful. You have to be careful what you like what you do or whatever with the PC or whatever, because I mean PCs aren't cheap. Don't get me wrong, PCs are not cheap. I I basically I've wanted a PC for years. I had one, but they were slow. I had one, but it was slow, and I want a pre-built PC because I don't know how to build things. I don't know how to build things, y'all. Like, I don't know how to build PCs, so I'd rather have like a pre-built PC, a powerful PC with like everything with like editing software already installed or whatever, or I can get on like an Adobe plan or something, because like I'd rather get on an Adobe plan than buy an editor. Like if I was on, I don't know, not really like a student plan, but you know how they have those plans for Adobe? Um like I'd want to do that, but not on a Mac, because Mac just needs extras. They need extras for everything. Like it's so annoying. You need an extra when you try to edit. You need like iMovie, and you need iMovie, and you need another editing software, and it's like it's annoying. Like I just wish I was able to get a PC, like, or just, have a better PC, but like at the time at the time when I had a PC, I think it was 2006. And back then, the PCs weren't that great. PCs were not that great in '06. They were slow. And, like, I was, talking to my family about it. Like, I mean, I've been talking to my family about this for years, even. I think this started like 2 years ago, was when I wanted a PC. Um, I wanted a Windows PC. Luckily for me, I've been exposed to Windows, and I know how to use Windows PCs, because I would use a PC pretty much. I would be on a PC every day, basically, and I got used to it. Like I'm not that used to it, but I know how to use a PC, and I like PCs. I really really like PCs. And also, um, so yeah, I guess I'm gonna. Sorry. Um, sorry. So yeah, I don't recommend Macs for long-term use. I don't recommend MacBooks for long-term usage. They're just not, they're not meant for gaming. They're not meant for gaming. I mean, they're okay. They're not meant for gaming. They're not meant for certain things. There are certain things that Macs are meant for, and there are other things that they aren't. Like, okay, so there are computers, right? There are computers that have everything already installed. Like, everything already pre-installed. Like, let's see. Like, I don't know. Like editing softwares or filming software. I mean, with filming software, you can use OBS and it works perfect. OBS works perfect. That's a good app to use. I totally recommend it. It's free. I use it all the time. It's really easy to use. I mean, it's easy to use when you get the hang of it. And I just don't recommend Macs. I mean, they're okay. But they're like really, really freaking expensive. They're really freaking expensive, and they're not. And basically, I watched a video on it, and they're not licensed with other companies, like how Windows are. So Windows PC, like Windows are, Windows is a brand that is licensed, or Microsoft is a brand that is known for their PCs. And I mean, you have to do your research, obviously. You have to do your research and stuff like that. Like, you have to look into companies. Some people get a free pre-built PC, but it's from like sponsorships or whatever. I mean, I could get sponsored if I wanted, but I don't really know any companies. I don't know a lot of companies. I mean, I like Apple. I like Apple, but I don't like the fact that you have to get all of this, you have to get all of these extras, and you run out of storage. Like, and you run out of storage for things. And, it's just not meant for that type of stuff. I don't know. Like, I honestly do not know. It's kind of difficult. It's kind of difficult probably because I've just had so many issues. I have had so many issues with learning to edit in the past that I just don't care for editing. I mean, I should care because, I'm trying to be professional. Like, I should honestly care because I'm trying to be, professional. But how can somebody edit? How can somebody learn to edit videos or learn to use software like Adobe, like Photoshop or Premiere, or like some other type of editing software, or thumbnail maker, if you can't freaking use it because your software needs other stuff? Like, basically, okay, so I had Final Cut Pro 10. I had Final Cut Pro 10, right? Like, I can't find the freaking information to reinstall it. can't find the freaking information to reinstall it, and I don't want to pay like however much money it costs, but it's like over it's a good hundred. It's a good couple $100. And why would you want to spend your money? Why would you want to spend money on something like that when you can just do Adobe plans? If you did like Adobe plans because like you pay monthly, I mean, yes, it adds up. Yes, it adds up after a while, but um or back then, I don't know when they started doing the cloud stuff. I don't know when they started doing like the Adobe cloud type of stuff. Um, but basically, there were there were things like I remember when I was in school. I remember I took a class, right? I mentioned this class several times. Um, totally recommend it. Um, I worked on PCs, right? I did this stuff on PC, and I'm used to PCs. I'm not new to PCs. I love PCs. I love the way they look. I love the way they run. If you take care of them. I love I like what they're capable of. And like I just freaking wanted a PC so bad for so long. And I just don't I mean, okay. There are pros and cons to having Windows stuff, right? There's pros and cons. Like laptops. Laptops, for example. Sometimes I wouldn't recommend a Windows laptop per se because like you don't know how much storage it has, and you don't know how much you need to get more of. Um like you don't know how much more you need to get more of. Um and stuff, and I just don't like laptops very much. I mean, laptops are okay. It's just not meant for really filming on. I don't know. It's not really meant for filming on because QuickTime is bad. I don't like it. Um I don't like using QuickTime to film on at all. Um it just takes up a lot of space. It just takes up a lot of space, and like with Windows Movie Maker is already on there. Um, what is Windows Movie Maker anyway? Windows Movie Maker. So I'm on my phone, um, doing research. I'm doing research, and like with Movie Maker, um, I mean, Movie Maker was apparently discontinued. Um, 2018. Oh my gosh. 17, 2018, 2019, 2020. 2020. About 4 years ago, it was discontinued. I mean, I don't have Windows. I wish I did. So it was like it was 17 years old. Cause this was released by Microsoft September 14th, 2000. I wasn't even around then. But basically, you can basically choose your plans of what you want to use, basically. And I guess there's plans for Photoshop, there's plans for like video editing software. Sorry, I didn't mean to yawn. There's plans for like Photoshop, video editing softwares, and other things. I mean, I'm sure Adobe has more stuff, but I don't really know what else they have because I don't do a lot of research. I don't do a lot of research on that. I think I only researched it a couple of times. But I just don't see myself using a Mac to film on long term. I don't think I ever have. I mean, I'm not gonna get a new computer now because I just don't have the space for one. Like, I really don't. I used to years ago, but my bedroom is just not suitable to keep a computer in because it's just so it's like not equipped to handle having a big computer in my room because I just don't have the space for it. Wish I did, but I don't. And I've been looking into getting PCs for about 2 years. I've been looking into getting a PC for like 2 years now after wanting one again, and I literally asked for one for like a couple of years, but I think I'm gonna, like once I start really taking off, I'm gonna save money to get a PC because I mean, I know it doesn't seem very practical, but when you're in the case of, you're trying to, you're wanting to learn to edit, you're wanting to learn to you're wanting to learn to use Photoshop, and you don't want to like basically break your other computer, like break your other computer if you have like a Mac or something. Because pretty much like a lot of people have more than one computer. A lot of people have like a Mac and a PC. And I mean, I don't use Macs that often. And I mean, I don't know if the Mac that I have is outdated or not. But I don't really want to get a new Mac because it's just too much. It's too much money. So yeah, like what software is good to use. Literally just do your research basically. You have to research those things. So I guess I don't know. Like if you want to look into Adobe products, look into Adobe and get like I don't know, not like a one-time payment, but like a student plan so you get discounts or something like that. Like for example, there's a lot of PC companies. Like there's a lot of PC companies out there. Apple, I do not recommend if you're trying to learn to edit. I don't recommend them. So there's Acer, there's Dell, um, Lenovo. I've never heard of Lenovo. Origin PC. Oh, and Razer. I have looked into Razer before. I'm sure they have more options. I'm sure they have, more types of computer options. But okay, Razer is basically a gaming PC company, and I follow Razer on social media, and I actually looked into getting a Razer PC. I looked into getting a Razer PC. I looked into a ton of different PCs because I couldn't decide really, but I mean, Best Buy is the best place to go for that type of thing. But because we can't really go anywhere right now, or it's just not good to go anywhere, um, really, it's good to stay home and stay safe if you can. Um, I don't really know how that's gonna happen, but hopefully one of these days I can actually go to like a Best Buy or someplace and talk to somebody about computer options or like other computer options than just Apple because I mean, I like Apple, but I just don't see myself using a MacBook long term to film videos on. Now, if I didn't want to film on a PC or if I wasn't like where my PC was or whatever, then I'd use a Mac. But I just don't there's just so much. I mean, chargers can break, and Mac chargers are expensive, and MacBook chargers are expensive. I'm surprised the one that I have is still working because the first time I broke a charger, I didn't actually break it. It got broken in the vacuum cleaner. And it didn't even look broken, but a cord was busted, and a cord busted on the inside, or a wire busted from the inside. It just didn't look it, and it didn't work. And I've had my new charger. Well, it's not really new. It's not really that new anymore. But I've had this other charger for my MacBook for a couple of years, but I don't really know, like, if it's just going through wear and tear. It's old, and I've had my MacBook since 20 had my MacBook since oh gosh, like 2016. So this is like 4 years old, and and I'll probably get a new computer at some point, but now isn't a good time, even though I've been wanting a computer. Even though I've been wanting a new computer for a while now. I just know one of these days the Macs are gonna be just not good for that type of thing, and people are gonna want PCs, because a lot of people in this industry want a PC over a MacBook to film on. And so, as I said, I'm doing research, so I'm on like this website on my phone called builtin.com, and like, you know, regarding game PC companies. So, okay. Basically, there's a ton of different companies that do gaming PCs, like Alienware, Compaq, or whatever it's called. I don't think it's really on there because I don't think Compaq is. Well, Compaq is like a keyboard manufacturer. I don't know what their um I don't know what their deal is really. So, honestly, I've been having like the issue of like Mac versus PC for so long, and I just like, it's just annoying. So, I'm basically telling you guys the pros and cons of, like, okay, the pros and cons of using a certain computer, right? I mean, there's pros and cons to everything, right? But I I've had the same computer. For I've had the same computer for 4 years. And it's giving me issues. It's like, it's not updating. It's not updating at all. And I'm like annoyed because I knew this day would happen. Like, I knew this time would happen. You know? I knew this would happen. And so that's why I've always looked into other computer companies than just Apple, because, I mean, I love Apple. Apple is a really good company. They make really good phones. And their Macs are nice, but I just don't see myself using a Mac. I don't see myself using a Mac long term because of issues like the fact of, like, when you try to delete a lot of stuff off your computer, like, you try to delete, like, podcasts and files and apps and other stuff, or, like, if you have too many pictures, then stuff could happen. So basically, I tried deleting files off my computer that I didn't need, like music that I bought, for example, and like podcasts that I didn't listen to anymore. I tried deleting those, and it just wouldn't update. Like, it wouldn't let me download the frickin' update. And I was, like, so annoyed, so I was, like, texting with my dad about it, and he said something along the lines of, like, you know, can we get it fixed, or is this like a deeper issue? And so I was like, I honestly just don't know if we can get it fixed. I don't think it's worth fixing at this point, because it's so old. It's so old. I don't even know what operating system. I don't even know what operating system this is. Or, like, about this Mac. I'll go. So, yeah. This computer is not up to date, basically. Okay. So, it says MacBook Pro 13 inches, and it's early 2015. So, this is a 2015 model. So, of course, it's I mean, I have some storage, but, like, a lot of the issue is, like, if you make two accounts, if you make, like, two user accounts, which I don't know how to delete the other one. Maybe that's why. I don't know how to fix it. I don't really know how to fix it. I'm not good at that type of thing. But yeah, the computer that I have isn't up to date at all. Like, it's not the latest computer. 'Cause this model is from 2015. So it was like all the rage. It was all the rage 5 years ago. Because basically this computer model is 5 years old. And we're in 2020 now. We're not in 2015 anymore. So that could be the problem. That could be the problem, maybe, because I have, like, another user account that I don't even use anymore. I don't know how to I don't know how to delete it. That could be the issue, but I'm just saying this computer isn't up to date at all because it's a 2015 model and we're in 2020 now. And so I just rather have a computer that I can use to its fullest potential, and I can't use my laptop to its fullest potential if it's like not allowing me to update it, or it's not letting me download the latest version of whatever operating system it is. So yeah, I hope I can fix it. If not, I'll look into getting like a PC or something, as I said. But as I've also said before, you have to do your research on companies, right? You have to do your research on companies because like I've done my research on like Razer and stuff. Razer's good. But would I use their products? Probably not. I mean, I could if I wanted, but like I could if I wanted to, but I just want I want a strong PC. I want a strong PC, from a good company that knows what they're doing. Okay, Acer, no. Alienware, no. AMD, I've never heard of them. Oh, they're a computer processor company. Asus, I've never heard of them. Never heard of a lot of these companies. Corsair, I've heard of them, I think. But Dell, do I recommend them? Probably not. I mean, you could use Dell if you wanted to. HP, HP is a good one because the computer that I had, or the monitor, well, it was a computer / monitor, I guess you could say. HP or Hewlett Packard, I recommend them. Intel's pretty good. Lenovo, Lenovo, maybe. I mean, have I used them? Probably not. Logitech is a good one. If you guys don't know what Logitech is a computer company. It's that company that's mainly known for their light-up keyboards. So, I mean, there's a lot of different companies you could go with. And then, like for editing software, like for recording software, let's move on to recording software. So for recording software, there's a ton of different softwares you could use. But mainly the software that a lot of YouTubers use is a software called OBS. Studio. It's free. It's for Windows, Mac, and Linux, I believe. I've never heard of Linux. Hopefully this website that I'm on talks about Linux because I have never heard of them. Like, I have never heard of Linux at all. Okay. Origin PC I've heard of. Razer I've heard of. But yeah, like, I don't know if like Linux is a gaming type of PC per se, so I don't know. Like, I've never heard of them. Like, I'd rather do it for a gaming PC rather than just like an average just like an average type of computer, you know, or like an average family computer. Like, and you have to you have to do your research for a lot of things. You have to do your research for like what type of company to go with, prices, or quality. Quality's a big one, you guys, because like, okay, quality is a big one. Like, I mean, Macs are good, but if you're trying to do YouTube professionally and you want to learn to edit and like you want to learn to, you know, edit and stuff like that, like you want to learn to edit and use Photoshop without all the extras, without like all the extras. I mean, I'm sure there's extras with Windows too, but or like with PCs too. I'm not just saying Windows. I'm just saying Windows because that's what I'm used to saying when it comes to PCs, but there's a lot of but like Windows is affiliated with a ton of other companies. Or Microsoft Windows is affiliated with a ton of other companies. Whereas Apple isn't really affiliated with a lot of other companies. Like Apple makes their own computers. Apple makes their own computers, whereas PCs are made everywhere. Like I watched a video earlier on something having to do with like what computer is better to learn to edit on, like Macs or PCs. And so quality is a big one. So you want to have a computer for as long as possible, right? You want to have a computer for as long as you possibly can. And I mean, my computer isn't physically broken. It just doesn't fit my needs. It just doesn't fit my needs like that anymore. Like I've been wanting to learn how to edit for so long, and I still can't edit. I still can't edit. I still can't use Photoshop. I still can't use Photoshop on my Mac because there's just like a ton of extras you have to do. Like you have to update it, you have to clear space, and it's like the stuff that I have on my MacBook is a necessity because I film and I use like a ton of different apps. I film and I use a ton of different apps and other things. So like I tried clearing out as much stuff as I could. Didn't really help. It didn't really help my situation. It's probably because I have two I guess accounts on. I guess it's because I have like two accounts and I don't know how to get rid of the other one. So maybe that could be what's taking up the majority of my space, but I just don't see the need in going out and getting a MacBook when you want to learn to edit, because there's a lot of stuff that can take up your storage space. Like if you have, like, let's say if you have two different accounts on your MacBook, that could take up space. Plus there's a, not really an account, but like a user account on here that I don't even use anymore. So I just don't see the point in really learning to edit on this thing, because it just doesn't have the space. Doesn't have the space for that. And plus it's old. You know when things get to the age of like 5 or 6 years old or older than that, they start slowing down. They start slowing down. They start performing poorly, or like not up to your standards. And when you're an influencer, when you're a videographer, with a YouTube channel or whatever, you need something that'll last you a long time. And I mean, 5 years is a long time. Or I've had this computer for 4 years, but technically the model is 5 years old, or 6 years. 15, 17, 18, 19, 20. Yeah, it's like the model is like 6 years old because it was released in 2015 and I got it in 2016. So it's 6 years old. But like when you know a computer gets to the age of 6 years old and it starts saying things like low on storage space or blah or whatever, then you know that it's just going to be impossible to edit on, really. I'd rather edit on a PC than a Mac, because it's just easier. It's easier that way. Plus, I'd already have my games. Plus, I'd like already have my games. Pretty much, because I have the disc versions. I have the disc versions of games, of all my games, right? But I technically have my games, so if I were to get a new computer, I prefer a PC over a laptop. That's just my preference, because I can film. I mean, I'd want a PC with a lot of space. That can have like a lot of space. So maybe I'd get like another, like if you want like computers with more space, I'd say get an extra hard drive. I'd say like get an extra hard drive, because you don't know what the computer is going to be used for, really, or not in that sense, but you know what I mean. Like, there are some games that take up a lot of space on your computer. So, yeah. And yeah, I mean, there's a ton of different things, but moving on to filming software, as I've said, or like backtracking to OBS, how I've said that it's a really good software to use. I do not under any circumstances recommend QuickTime, because with QuickTime, oh my gosh, guys, with QuickTime, your whole screen is being recorded. Your whole screen is being recorded. And that is so annoying to me because you can see everything. And I mean everything on your computer. Like you can see it picks up notifications. It's so annoying. Among other things. And I just don't recommend filming on QuickTime, because even though a lot of people are like, "Oh, it's good to film on," but like not really. It has a lot of disadvantages. Like with OBS, you can film your screen. Well, you know, with OBS, you can use a ton of different features. Like, there's a thing called sources. So, you have like a ton of different sources. So, I have like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I have 5 sources in my OBS. And then you have, or like, not sources, but scenes. I have 5 scenes in my OBS, tailored to each thing. And so there's like I have one for Sims 3, Sims 4, sorry, my advice channel, my book channel, and for like custom content shopping videos. And you can have like backdrop, and you can have and you could have like images or whatever, and slideshows, and you can live stream. Okay, you can live stream with this app as well. So there's like 3 different things to OBS. I mean, obviously you have to configure your settings to your computer. So with Mac, it's different. With Windows, it's different. But thank gosh it doesn't echo anymore. Because OBS used to have this problem where it would echo. Like an older version that I had would echo. The mic would echo. And this is like a super old version. I can't remember what version it is. But this is a super old version of OBS that I'm talking about. Or OBS Studio that I'm talking about. It used to echo. But, I mean, literally just, do your research for, like, computers and filming software and editing software, because there's a ton of different types of editing softwares out there. There's, like, there's Camtasia, there's Adobe products, there's iMovie, which is free, but as I said, I have my issues. I have my issues with Apple computers, so I'm not even going to talk about it, really. And I think that's going to be it for this podcast, for this episode of, like, which software should you use? Or, like basically PC or Mac, and what software should you use? Like, which one is better? Me personally, after so long of using a Mac, I prefer PCs just because I know how to use a PC, and I'd rather have like I'd have a nice PC. I'd want to have a nice PC that can run smooth. And everything, rather than a slow one. So that's why you should just do your research. To be honest. So yeah, I think that's it for this podcast episode. And I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Also, we are on, or this podcast is available on Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Anchor, and Spotify. So, and YouTube. I will upload this to YouTube. Hopefully it'll upload, because this is an hour long. This recording is an hour long. So, yeah, it's fine. It'll upload, hopefully. So, that's pretty much it for this Ask Phantom episode. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. And I'm gonna go and see if my games are installed now. It's kind of annoying what happened, but things happen. I'm gonna, do my computer research, because I do feel like I need a new computer. It's just really annoying, and I've had enough. I've had enough of it. So, that's all for this episode, and I hope you guys enjoyed. Be sure to leave a like, comment, and please subscribe to the Ask Phantom channel. And yeah, that's it. So I'm gonna go now, and goodbye, guys.